Hello, everyone. I'm really sorry that I can't be there in person, but thank you very much for the opportunity to address you briefly today, and I look forward very much to discussing the outcomes of your conversations thus far. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Paris to mark the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II in Europe. President Hollande, Foreign Minister Fabius, and I stood in the shadow of the Arc de Triomphe where we laid a wreath to commemorate those who sacrificed everything in the name of peace and to defeat tyranny. In doing so, we recalled a moment when nations around the world came together to dedicate themselves to the common cause of preserving peace, building shared prosperity, and addressing global problems. 7 decades later, we face another daunting challenge, emerging not from the cauldron of war, but from the gathering ecological impact of industrialization and growth. The precise nature of the challenge is obviously different, but the need for unity, the need for concerted international action is absolutely the same. And that is why I strongly support the mission of this summit and encourage all of you to do your part to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and curb climate change. You really just don't have to be a scientist to understand the consequences of inaction. And we don't have to wait to witness the results. We see it now. We see it in the extreme weather events, in the deepening droughts, the violent storms, the rising sea levels, and in so many other ways on a global basis in terms of agriculture and water and food production and other challenges. If we fail to act, we face not only environmental catastrophe, but also a multiplication of crises in food supplies, health, social development, and international security. In response to this challenge, President Obama and his entire administration have undertaken the most ambitious set of climate change actions in my country's history, including actions to double the fuel efficiency of vehicles, and more recently, a proposal to sharply cut emissions from power plants so we can reduce overall emissions by 26 to 28% below 2005 levels by 2025. But the truth is we can't just stop there. And that's why I add my voice to the chorus, calling on the private sector to help governments the world over to lead this fight. We need you to continue to develop the next generation of clean energy technology, ensure supply chains are resilient to climate change, and to tell your governments how you are making changes so we can better support what you are doing. And we need you to recognize that taking action on climate change is in your economic interest. In fact, the climate market, the energy market, and energy policy, as you all know, is the solution to climate change. The energy market that we're looking at is literally the biggest market in the history of humankind. It promises to produce enormous numbers of jobs, create great wealth, even as we meet our environmental responsibilities, provide better health to people, provide better security and energy choices. What we really need is for the private sector to encourage governments across the world to set ambitious emission targets and to set targets of their own. And I do mean ambitious, like the companies that have set targets of using 100% renewable energy by 2020. Only when we achieve that will we make the kind of progress that will actually put us on the path towards a more sustainable future. To help grow these efforts, I will be convening the Secretary's Impact Economy Forum this fall, and it will bring companies, universities, entrepreneurs, and philanthropies together to focus on the impact green investment can have in the fight against global climate change. This forum will provide a platform for both the public and private sectors to highlight successful efforts to channel investments towards clean energy and ultimately climate change solutions. In December this year, the world will come together again in this great capital city. We can and we must summon the collective political will to reach a truly ambitious and comprehensive agreement. But to be real in that agreement, success in Paris is going to be made up of 100,000 smaller decisions that will never make the headlines. An executive who signs off on an investment in renewable technology, a scientist who discovers a way to make appliances more energy efficient, a mayor who mobilizes his community to go green. CEOs, entrepreneurs, inventors, and investors, you are the leaders who will take what we decide at Paris and carry it forward. And you can even push Paris to the conclusion we need to reach. You hold the key to our ultimate success. So seize the opportunity, please, and make the difference that will not just be felt in the boardroom or on the factory floor, but actually felt all across the planet. Thank you.